Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So yes, I'm back on my tripod because I saw Tanny Raw, and I've mentioned her many times. She is a social media phenom on every platform, and I saw that she's kicked out her little tripod, and I'm like, wait, what? Wasn't I doing that a minute ago? And then I got lazy and stopped. I'm back, people. Tripod Jules right here. I'm going to change it to Tripod Jules Blessed Vegan. Anyway, let's try this tripod thing again. So I am devastated today. I went to Saturday school and found out that our superintendent died yesterday. I know. I was like, wait, what? I mean, it is a super small school district. There are only like 2,800 kids, okay? Everybody knows everybody. And this man was so beautiful and so committed. And to just listen to his passion for children was amazing. And apparently he didn't feel well yesterday. He's like, 57 or so. Didn't feel well yesterday. So he went to the Palmdale Regional Hospital. Oh, forgive me. Beep. I didn't mean to say where he went. It's not slander. It's not slander at all, because if you remember, my partner teacher had a stroke, and that's where she was treated, and it was a tremendous blessing for her. But whatever, he went to say he didn't feel well. They decided that they wanted to put in a stint, and he died on the table. Yeah. Wife, children, in all of his life in motion, okay? I don't know how well he took care of his health. I mean, like most men, he had a bit of a paunch and little, tummy or whatever. But what I loved was not only his passion for his craft, but when I was brand new to the district, right? And then I was double teaching classes, and I didn't know who knew or who even cared. And I certainly didn't expect it to go beyond our principal. But I was doing Saturday school, and he showed up, and he came up and said, "Hi, Mrs. McCants." And I was like, that's cool. I love that he knew my name. I mean, we hadn't been formally introduced. I only saw him like at a, staff-wide something. And then he said, "I really want to thank you for teaching those double classes." And I was like, I was so honored that he knew and that he cared and that he mentioned it. Like, really? Wow. So I already knew that he was a genuine person. And just like on Wednesday night, not only was he at the speech contest for which my kid won, which I mentioned my sixth grader won, but, he was answering to the press because Tuesday was voting, and apparently there was a bond measure to improve the classrooms in the area. And he was saying that he was still hopeful, that the vote might come through when all the tallies were counted, and the importance of providing for the kids. So he was so in motion. We even had on our campus, we literally just built a wellness center for the families, and they're going to cut the ribbon on the 27th or something. It was his pet project. It was just another reality check that you can't outrun your health. You can't outrun what you're eating and putting into your body, because it will catch up, right? People who are getting facelifts and using all the potions, and, guys who, I've known a bunch of people younger than 50 who seemingly rode their bike for 100 miles a week, ran 15 miles a day, whatever, and dropped dead because you can't outrun clogged arteries, right? So this man had an amazing heart, meaning his spirit and soul, but his actual heart was seriously ailing. So it's going to be a really interesting time when I get back, because as I suggested, it's a very small district, and it's going to shake things up for sure. And of course, I'm on prayer patrol, and I will very much be present for whatever they do to honor him, and however I can support his family. And so I just wanted to check in with you guys and just remind you of the importance of health. And we've been doing a random acts of kindness challenge. And today it was to literally give yourself a half hour to just care for yourself. I'd love to know if you took the time to do that. But as always, if for some reason you didn't, you can certainly do it tomorrow. So this other thing, which I'm going to suggest, you can literally do in life, or you can certainly do through prayer. And what it is to acknowledge someone who's widowed. The Bible always talks about are really the command that we love and honor and provide for the widows. And people don't think of widows anymore because we don't have small communities and we don't have families that are all living in, a neighborhood together anymore. And yet there are very much widows. I remember the youngest widow I ever knew was a little 19-year-old who had just been married, and they were in their first year of marriage, and she was waiting because her husband wanted to drop her at the curb so that she could go get tickets for the movie, and then he was just going to park and come. And while she was waiting, she heard sirens and everyone was talking about an accident. And she kept thinking that she was going to tell her husband, wow, there's an accident. Someone got hit in the crosswalk. It was her husband, and he was dead. I know. There are widows. I know one person who has been widowed twice, and she's only 38 years old. It's just, part of it is the risk of choosing to love again, right? But it's still a cruel joke to lose a second husband. Yet she chooses to continue to love, and inevitably will have a third husband who, praise God, will live until they're old together. I don't know. But there are widows, and we need to pray for them. So the random act of kindness is to take a moment to write a note again to that person who's been widowed and tell them you're still thinking about them, letting them know you're still praying for them, sending them good thoughts. You might even want to cut out a cute little, message icon and just send it and give them a chance to smile. If you don't have a person that comes to mind, you can certainly just pray for those who have been widowed, because prayer is powerful and God hears prayer. So for now, I am praying for Mrs. Zepeda and the children, of course. I'm praying for our district and what's to come, that it'll be in the best interest of the children and certainly the teachers. I am a staff member. I'm praying for those who really loved him, because we had genuine people who loved him. And I loved him. I loved what I knew of him, as brief as my time has been there. I will miss his smile. He was very regal in his presentation, super approachable, but carried himself really well. And I will pray for the assistant superintendent, because I don't know if God is calling him to be filling that role or if he'll be an interim while they work to fill that role. But I'm going to pray for his grace, because this superintendent actually pulled him from another district to work for him. And now he's gone. And his tenure in that district was less than 4 years. Like seriously, July 16th would have been 4 years. So it's very interesting. I've seen that before, where somebody has come into a position seemingly to leave their legacy before they're called home. And we're reminded that this is the shortest life we will ever live. That I want to say heaven is eternal, and it most certainly is, but sadly so is hell. God will not hear you when you are yelling from hell because you changed your mind. You have to live your life accordingly now. You have to make your choice now. Because like Dr. Zepeda, I'm telling you, everything was in motion. And he's gone. And in some ways, that's his blessing. And I ask for God's mercy on his soul in accepting him into his kingdom. But there are a lot of things that people will pick up the pieces on, because seriously, when we leave this life, inevitably, we leave a lot of obligations and responsibilities and things behind that others either carry on or don't, and that's okay. But anyway, that's where I'm at. So, random act of kindness. You still have time if you're on the West Coast. You still have time to be good to yourself. But also the prayer for widows. And I have some widows on my mind right now that I'm going to acknowledge. Oh my goodness, right? You cannot outrun your health just because people can't see it. It's interesting, early on in like this whole endeavor, but in the last years, I had a lot of things people couldn't see. People couldn't readily see my asthma. They couldn't see my response to chemicals and what would happen to me as a result of that. They couldn't see my thyroid condition. They couldn't see my manic depression unless I, occasionally would act out, which was rare, because it was something more like family and things would see. I had a lot of ailments that people couldn't see beyond the smiling face and the cheerleader by nature and all those things. So I know what that's like. But I don't want to outrun a sick organ anymore, which God is lovingly healing. I don't want to outrun clogged arteries because I'm still obese. It's funny because I see this, and you know that whole fake image thing on Facebook and stuff, but I see myself in this box, and people say, well, you have cheekbones, which I certainly do. My neck seemingly is thin. I'm even having a collarbone, which I haven't had for years, like all these things. But I am still terrifically heavy and by all accounts obese, and my BMI is morbidly obese. There's no doubt. So if somebody only saw this video, they might say, she looked good to me. I mean, gosh, other than her 2-pound eyebrows, which people are thinking I gave up for Lent. I did not give these up for Lent. I was trying to let them grow out so I could get them right. It's coming. It's coming. But that would be an illusion because I'm still, hanging around 200 pounds. And I'm trying so hard to have the courage to just let that weight go and not need to package myself in that way anymore. And I believe this is my year to do that. But a lot of people, as I suggested, because they think they look good, they're okay. And they're so not okay. Oh, God, prayers all around, my friends. I know you get it. All right. If you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Know that I pray for you. I will put Dr. Zepeda in the prayer book. I will put you in the prayer book at Mass. I will offer my rosary for him, and I will offer my prayers for whatever intentions you have. And until we talk again, you are breathing. You are still on the planet. You are still in motion. You have all the choices to live your best life while you're still breathing. And until we talk again, my friends, trust that you're blessed.